So this is a little weird, I know, because I'm usually having you like right up in my face on top of my Instant Pot here. But like I mentioned in my last video, I ordered a tripod and it came in the mail today, so I'm trying to like experiment with it a little bit. So I figured, why not give it a try today instead of waiting? So today we are going to make sugar cookies. Since, oh my gosh, Lola, no, stop. Since the Christmas season is upon us, we're doing cut out sugar cookies. So I have a few little, I have a holly leaf, and I have a snowflake, and I have a ribbon. So we're just going to be using these little cutouts to make our Christmas cookies. And this looks like a super easy recipe. I have not made it before. I'm also not a super huge fan of sugar cookies, fun fact about myself, but a lot of people in my life are, so I figured, hey, let's kick the, it's my oven, let's kick the holiday season off by making some sugar cookies. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so this seems pretty straightforward. So we're just going to start by combining butter and sugar in our mixer. We have a cup of butter and 1 cup of sugar, and we're just going to cream that until it's not like, we're going to cream that until like the sugar sort of dissolves into the butter. Yeah, so, and that has to mix for like 3 minutes. So while we are mixing that together, this is a 1/2 cup measuring cup. 1/2 cup. I don't, very rarely do I ever use the full cup. I just think that it's too big, and my canisters are really small. So that has to be a part of it, but I just think you can better control and measure with smaller measuring cups, but that's just my personal preference. Okay, need that. Okay, done with that. Okay, so now we have our paddle attachment. This is my KitchenAid mixer. I don't know if you can see it. Yes, it's beautiful, fabulous. My husband got it for me for our second dating anniversary, so it's really nice. I like it. Okay, so little baking fact that I think everybody needs to know that a lot of people don't know, but if you ever watch Food Network, they'll tell you this. When you're baking, everything needs to be at room temperature. It helps it just incorporate better. You're not going to get like big chunks of butter, and it's not going to take forever and a day to like combine. And if you don't have time to wait for your stuff to come at room temperature, like I didn't today, I threw my butter in the microwave. Oh gosh, probably about in intervals of like 5 to 10 seconds, just to make sure that it wasn't like too soft, it's like starting to melt, because you do not want melted butter for this recipe. So we're just gonna lock it into place and then put it on low speed to have it cream. Now, while that is creaming, we're gonna get our dry ingredients together. So we're going to do 3 cups of butter. So this is going to be a fairly stiff dough. And again, we are leveling off our flour to make sure that everything is even and our chemical makeup is not any different. Okay, so to the 3 cups of flour, we are going to be adding 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Oh my gosh. There's 1. 2 teaspoons baking powder. And these baking powder containers are really handy because you see they have this little like lip here, and that just helps you like even it all off, you know? It's really exciting. I just get so excited about baking. It's so much fun. Oh, on the side. Okay. And then, oh my goodness, need salt. Now this recipe calls for a half a teaspoon of salt, so I just like eyeballed it in my teaspoon measuring spoon. I'm just gonna incorporate all of that into the flour so that it's like relatively mixed together. You know, it's not, you're not gonna get like a big chunk of whatever. Okay, this has been creaming. I forgot that I locked it. Creaming for a few minutes. And see, this is a really good consistency. It is not too granulated. It looks like it incorporated really well. I just like to go in and scrape down the sides just to make sure that everything is incorporated and there's no, you know, leftover chunks of stuff or anything. You like my little wooden spur rubber sponge? It's got snowflake on it, and then on the back, which is dirty now, you can't see it, but it has like a little conversion chart of like what things are equal to how to like break it down. Super neat. Got it at Walmart. It's like $2. All about those bargain sales. Okay, now to this we're going to add 1 egg. And then we're also going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I'm using pure vanilla extract, but you're more than welcome to use artificial vanilla flavor. What are you doing here? What time is it?
3.
3? I thought you were until 5.
I thought I did too.
Back to business. Oh my goodness. It's not one thing, it's another, I tell ya. Just fire truck going by. Husband came home early. Good thing I wasn't doing anything bad. Okay, so it calls for a teaspoon of vanilla extract and half a teaspoon of almond extract, but my mother-in-law is super allergic to nuts, so I am omitting the almond extract. So I just did a teaspoon and a half of vanilla extract, and I use pure vanilla extract, not vanilla flavoring. Personal preference. I just think it tastes better. It doesn't have that like artificial goopy taste. So we're just gonna mix this. Okay, that incorporated nicely. Oh my god. I don't know if I said this, but just like with your butter, you want your egg to be at room temperature too. I'm just losing all track of space and time and all that fun stuff. Okay, so now we're just gonna add this in a little bit at a time. Watch it come together. Like I said before, this is going to be a really stiff dough. So if your mixer ever gets to the point where it can't handle it, we're just going to take it out and like continue to knead it by hand on a floured surface. Okay. Just a little bit at a time. I'm probably going to have to speed the mixer up. Let it incorporate fully. Yeah, there was something that I wanted to say, but now I can't remember. I was like, oh, that's a really great thought. You should say that. dough. Super thick. I think I'm gonna need to move my Instant Pot. Oh, let move. Yes, I'm gonna need move my food processor as well. All right, lots of space to work with. I'm gonna flour. Just, ooh, it's probably a bit much. Shh, don't tell anybody. All right, just making a mess. But wouldn't be cooking if it weren't messy. So, all right, that is our dough. Ooh. It smells really good. Just gonna plop it out here. It's really dry dough, but it said that this was the best recipe for making sugar cookies, so here we are. There's legit flour all over the floor to make it so slick. Okay. Alright, so we're just going to knead the dough. Okay. Make sure that it's all incorporated. And like the notes on this recipe said that you couldn't like overmix it or like use too much flour, but I don't know. It also said you didn't need to refrigerate this. I just flung dough somewhere, I have no idea where it went. Oh my god. Jake coming home threw me all off. Anywho's. Alright, so the consistency is about like Play-Doh. And she said that's what we're looking for, so just go with it, you know, Play-Doh-ish consistency. And she said you want these to be a little bit thicker, like me. Oh my goodness. You want these to be a little bit thicker, so like 1/4 of an inch thick. And then we're gonna cut them out, and they're supposed to hold their shape. And she said that you can use the scraps to keep rolling it out to make more cookies. Which, like, I would hope so, because if you want these to be 1/4 of an inch thick, you're not gonna get very many cookies out of this thing. All right. Snowflake. Holly leaf. Ooh. Oh, get out there. Oh, look at that. How cute. So I'm wondering, because it didn't say if you should spray this or not. But I'm thinking I should. I mean, like, there is butter in the recipe, but, you know, you just never know. You know, it is a non-stick baking sheet. We're just gonna err on the side of caution here. Yellow. Okay. Ooh. Snowflake. Oh no. It's a little deformed. Oh well. We're all a little deformed. Life lessons with Sheena. That's probably a little bit thicker than 1/4 of an inch, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how they turn out. Hopefully, oh my god. Okay. There's no such thing as an ugly cookie, but I am pushing it. Oh my god. Oh golly. So there is such a thing as too much flour. And I have reached that. Yeesh. So these are gonna go in the oven. See, some of them are a little ugly, but there's no such thing as an ugly cookie. Plus, I'm gonna be making homemade frosting to put on these, which I am going to show you guys. It's just gonna be one big long video. Frosting, decorating, the whole sugar cookie process. So, snowflakes, holly leaves, Christmas bows. Okay, so these oh my god. These are gonna go in the oven for it's a 350 degree oven. We're gonna put them in for 6 minutes. Judge how done they are. I like soft cookies. I know some people prefer a crunchier cookie, but it did say that this was like a softer batch cookie. So we're just gonna go with that, and I'm gonna keep working on this dough here. See, I thought this was gonna make like a crap ton of cookies, and I'm kind of glad that it's not, because I still have Oreo balls. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with all of them. I don't, son of a bitch, are you kidding me? No. You know, this is a trial and error process. Okay, trial and error, and I'm probably not going to use the dough again after this. So I'm just gonna get whatever I get out of this, and then I'm just gonna throw the rest away, because I do not think that if I rolled it out another time it would come out that well. But you never know. Oh, we're also going to be coloring frosting, which I'm kind of nervous about, because she said in the recipe she used like gel frosting. I could not find gel frosting, nor did I want to order it, because I didn't want it to go to waste. So I bought just like the liquid frosting, and I got, since I only have 3 different things, I got red and I got green to color the frosting with. So I'm just gonna have to play around with. My holly leaf broke. I'm gonna have to play around with the you know, the amounts that I use, because if you add too much liquid, it will change the consistency of the frosting, and I haven't worked with colored frosting enough, you know, to be super familiar with it, but I do know that much. You know, you put too much liquid in a recipe, it's gonna turn out differently. And we want the frosting to be like piping consistency, which I haven't excuse me, haven't decided if I'm gonna do that or not. Pipe. I just think, I don't know. I don't have anything to pipe with. I guess I should have thought about this more a little bit, but I was just so excited to try out my tripod for this video. You know, you've seen me without makeup the last 3 videos, and you know, that's fine. Like, I don't care, but maybe one of these days I'll do a video and I'll actually bother to make myself look presentable, instead of just being like, oh, I'm gonna do a video today. Here's my 3-day-old unwashed hair. Take a look. Me and my glasses. I did get dressed though, because I was in my pajamas, and I was like, I can't do another video in my pajamas. It just seems inappropriate at this point, you know? Like, we're this far into it. Anywho, there's a couple minutes left on those cookies. I ended up putting them in for 7 minutes, because they're still gonna continue to bake for a little bit after they come out of the oven. I also do not have a cooling rack, so Amateur baking at its finest, people. Amateur baking at its finest. This seems like a lot of dough to throw away, but what's 9 and 14? 25? I could probably get 5 more cookies. We're gonna try, so I have an even 30. But see, like, it's not sticking together, you know? It's not staying together because it's getting really dry from all the extra flour and all the extra, you know, kneading of it. So I'm just gonna try and press it out by hand. Keep it together. 23, 14 and 9 is 23, not 20. Oh my God. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25. 26. 27. 28. Okay, 28 seems like a good round number. Baking sheet. Everything fell. I'll pick it up later. This is a non-stick baking sheet, so I'm not going to spray this one. And we'll just see if there's a difference. Okay? Yeah, so the recipe said that you didn't have to refrigerate the dough. So we will see how it turns out, I guess. We got some done already, but I just don't know. See, like, I don't like sugar cookies, so I don't make sugar cookies, you know? I think it's whatever. These actually look really good, except for this fat bow. So these are the baked cookies. They are really pale, but they do feel done. So we're just gonna let these cool. And I'm going to clean up my workstation and get ready to make frosting.